Abiogenesis, the natural process by which life emerges from non-living matter, represents one of the most profound scientific questions at the intersection of astronomy, biology, and chemistry. The astronomical perspective on life's origins extends our search beyond Earth to the vast cosmos, examining how universal processes might create the conditions for life throughout the universe. This exploration connects fundamental questions about our own existence with the broader search for life beyond our planet. The study of abiogenesis from an astronomical perspective encompasses everything from the formation of essential chemical building blocks in space to the statistical probability of life emerging on habitable worlds throughout the universe. Abiogenesis refers to the natural process by which life arises from non-living matter, such as simple organic compounds. Scientists generally agree that this transition from non-life to life was not a single event, but rather a gradual process involving increasing complexity. This process encompasses several critical stages: the formation of a habitable planet, prebiotic synthesis of organic molecules, molecular self-replication, self-assembly, autocatalysis, and the eventual emergence of cell membranes. The study of abiogenesis aims to determine how chemical reactions occurring in pre-life conditions gave rise to the first living organisms under environmental conditions dramatically different from those on Earth today. The astronomical perspective on abiogenesis considers that life functions through the specialized chemistry of carbon and water and builds upon four key families of chemicals that appear to be universal in composition: lipids for cell membranes, carbohydrates like sugars, amino acids for protein metabolism, and nucleic acids, DNA and RNA, for heredity mechanisms. Any comprehensive theory of abiogenesis must explain not only the origins of these complex molecules, but also how they came to interact in ways that created self-sustaining biological systems. Astronomers contribute to this understanding by studying the cosmic abundance and distribution of these essential elements throughout the universe. Many approaches to abiogenesis research investigate how self-replicating molecules first emerged in the universe. Current scientific consensus generally holds that life likely descended from an RNA world, although other self-replicating and self-catalyzing molecules may have preceded RNA in this evolutionary sequence. The classic Miller-Urey experiment from 1952 demonstrated that most amino acids, the fundamental building blocks of proteins, can be synthesized from inorganic compounds under conditions designed to replicate Earth's early environment. This groundbreaking work established that the precursors to life could form naturally under the right conditions, a concept that astronomers now extend to potential habitable environments beyond Earth. Astrobiology represents a relatively new interdisciplinary field dedicated to studying the origin, evolution, distribution, and future of life in the universe. This emerging discipline expands traditional exobiology to include investigations of how terrestrial life responds to global changes on Earth and to conditions in space and on other worlds. The astrobiological approach to abiogenesis examines not only our biological origins, but also our potential future as a spacefaring civilization, connecting our cosmic past with our possible cosmic future. NASA has played a significant role in establishing astrobiology as a formal discipline by organizing workshops, establishing the NASA Astrobiology Institute, providing research funding, incorporating astrobiological goals into space missions, and initiating public outreach programs. The NASA Astrobiology Roadmap, first completed in 1999, offers a comprehensive framework for understanding the scope of this field as perceived by scientists at its inception. This roadmap continues to evolve as new discoveries reshape our understanding of life's potential throughout the cosmos. The astrobiological perspective on abiogenesis specifically addresses questions about whether the emergence of life on Earth represents a common process that might occur wherever suitable conditions exist, or whether it required highly specific, perhaps even rare circumstances. This fundamental question guides much of the research in this field, as scientists attempt to establish whether life is likely to be common or rare in the universe. The answer to this question has profound implications for both our search strategies for extraterrestrial life and our understanding of humanity's place in the cosmos. Astrobiology also examines the concept of habitability, the conditions necessary for life to emerge and thrive across different celestial bodies. This includes studying not just Earth-like planets, but also environments previously considered hostile to life, such as the subsurface oceans of icy moons like Europa and Enceladus. By broadening our understanding of where abiogenesis might occur, astrobiology expands the search space for potential life beyond traditional habitable zones. The ingredients essential for life as we know it didn't originate on Earth, but were formed through cosmic processes dating back to the earliest stars. Elements crucial for biology, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and sulfur, were largely created through nucleosynthesis within stellar cores, and then dispersed throughout the cosmos when massive stars died in supernova explosions. This cosmic recycling process ensured that when our solar system formed roughly 4.6 billion years ago, these building blocks were already present in the protoplanetary disk that would eventually form Earth and the other planets. The cloud that collapsed to form our sun contained these vital ingredients in various molecular forms, including water, ammonia, methane, and other organic compounds. Astronomical observations have confirmed that similar molecular clouds throughout the galaxy contain these same components, suggesting that the chemical precursors for life may be common throughout the universe. This universality of life's building blocks provides a foundation for the possibility that abiogenesis could occur beyond Earth. Research into carbonaceous chondrite meteorites has revealed that these space rocks contain many of the same organic compounds thought to be involved in abiogenesis, including amino acids, nucleobases, and other prebiotic molecules. These findings suggest that the delivery of such compounds to early Earth via meteorite impacts may have played a crucial role in providing the chemical inventory necessary for life to emerge. Astronomical studies of comets and asteroids continue to enhance our understanding of how these celestial bodies might have contributed to Earth's early organic chemistry. The chemical pathways from simple cosmic molecules to complex biological systems remain an area of intense research. Scientists have demonstrated that under conditions simulating various astronomical environments, from interstellar ice grains to hydrothermal vents on ocean worlds, complex organic molecules can form spontaneously. These experiments provide tantalizing clues about how the transition from astrochemistry to biochemistry might occur naturally throughout the cosmos, wherever suitable conditions exist. The probability that life spontaneously emerges in suitable environments is one of the major unknowns in astrobiology and represents a critical factor in estimating how common life might be throughout the universe. Assessing this probability is hindered by the lack of an accepted theory for the origin of life, and is further complicated by various selection biases that affect our observations. Scientists approach this challenge through statistical modeling, Bayesian analysis, and consideration of the anthropic principle. The idea that our observations of the universe are necessarily biased by the fact that we exist to make those observations. Some researchers have attempted to calculate the probability of abiogenesis by modeling the formation of essential biomolecules, like RNA under early Earth conditions, and then extrapolating to the broader universe. One such model examined whether random chemical processes could produce RNA molecules of sufficient complexity to initiate self-replication. The study concluded that the formation of RNA strands longer than 40 nucleotides through random processes is exceedingly unlikely, given just the number of stars with habitable planets in the observable universe. This finding suggests that abiogenesis might be an extremely rare event. However, contemporary cosmology suggests that the universe is vastly larger than the observable portion. If the universe contains more than 10,000 stars, a Google, rather than just the approximately 10,000 10 sextillion in the observable universe, then the probability calculations change dramatically. With such an expanded volume, even extremely improbable events, like the spontaneous formation of complex RNA structures, become not only possible but potentially inevitable somewhere in the cosmos. This concept fundamentally changes how we think about the rarity or commonness of life in the universe. The Carter argument, a statistical reasoning approach named after astrophysicist Brandon Carter, cautions against assuming that Earth's experience with abiogenesis is typical. The argument points out that our observation of life on Earth cannot be considered unbiased evidence regarding the probability of abiogenesis on other Earth-like planets, because we necessarily find ourselves on a planet where abiogenesis occurred. This anthropic selection effect means we cannot simply apply the principle of mediocrity, the assumption that Earth is typical, without carefully accounting for this observational bias. Early Earth as a model for understanding cosmic abiogenesis. The conditions on early Earth provide scientists with the only confirmed example of an environment where abiogenesis successfully occurred. By understanding these conditions, researchers hope to identify similar environments elsewhere in the cosmos where life might have emerged. Evidence suggests that life appeared on Earth relatively quickly after the planet formed, possibly within 500 million years after Earth's formation 4.5 billion years ago. This relatively rapid emergence has led some scientists to speculate that abiogenesis might be a fairly probable outcome under the right conditions. In the 1920s, British scientist J.B.S. Haldane and Russian biochemist Alexander Oparin independently proposed similar theories about the conditions required for life's origin on Earth. The Oparin-Haldane theory suggested that organic molecules could form from abiogenic materials in the presence of an external energy source like ultraviolet radiation, and that the primitive atmosphere was likely reducing, containing very little free oxygen but rich in compounds like methane, ammonia, and hydrogen. This reducing atmosphere would have been conducive to the formation of organic compounds that could serve as precursors to life. The famous Miller-Urey experiment in 1952 provided experimental support for these ideas by demonstrating that amino acids and other organic compounds could form spontaneously under conditions thought to simulate early Earth's atmosphere. This groundbreaking work established a potential pathway from simple chemistry to the complex molecules necessary for life. Modern versions of this experiment have produced even more diverse organic compounds, strengthening the case that prebiotic chemistry could naturally lead toward the building blocks of life under various planetary conditions. Recent theories about early Earth have suggested alternative environments for abiogenesis, including deep-sea hydrothermal vents, where chemical and thermal gradients could have provided the energy and concentration mechanisms necessary for complex organic chemistry. These environments might be common on ocean-bearing worlds throughout the galaxy, potentially providing numerous sites where life could emerge. The study of extremophils, organisms that thrive in extreme environments on Earth, further supports the idea that life might arise and persist in a wider range of conditions than previously thought. NASA's search for the origins of life. NASA has made the search for life's origins a central component of its scientific mission, recognizing that understanding abiogenesis is crucial to the broader question of whether we are alone in the universe. The agency's approach combines Earth-based research into prebiotic chemistry with space missions designed to search for habitable environments and potential biosignatures throughout the solar system and beyond. This dual approach acknowledges that studying life's beginnings requires both looking back at Earth's history and outward to other worlds. NASA's astrobiology research programs investigate fundamental questions about how the building blocks of life, including carbon-based molecules, water, and other essential components, are distributed throughout the cosmos. This research examines how these ingredients might combine under various planetary conditions to produce the complex chemistry necessary for life. By identifying the universal processes that could lead to abiogenesis, scientists hope to develop more effective strategies for searching for life beyond Earth. Space missions play a critical role in this research by providing direct observations of other planetary bodies where abiogenesis might have occurred or might still be possible. Missions to Mars, like the Perseverance rover, search for evidence of past or present life on the red planet, while missions to ocean worlds like Europa and Enceladus aim to determine whether these moons might harbor environments suitable for life. Future telescopes will extend this search to exoplanets around other stars, looking for atmospheric signatures that might indicate the presence of life. The development of more sophisticated telescopes and observation techniques has dramatically increased our ability to study potential abodes for life beyond Earth. With over 5,000 confirmed exoplanets and likely billions more in our galaxy alone, The number of possible environments where abiogenesis might occur has skyrocketed in recent years. These discoveries provide unprecedented opportunities to test theories about how common or rare the emergence of life might be throughout the cosmos. Theoretical models and experimental approaches to abiogenesis. Scientists have developed several competing models to explain how life might have emerged from non-living matter, both on Earth and potentially elsewhere in the universe. One leading hypothesis is the RNA world theory, which suggests that before the evolution of DNA and proteins, simpler RNA molecules served both as genetic material and as catalysts for chemical reactions. This model addresses one of the central paradoxes of abiogenesis, the fact that DNA requires proteins to replicate, while proteins are built according to instructions in DNA, by proposing RNA as a molecule capable of both storing information and catalyzing reactions. Alternative models include metabolism-first hypotheses, which propose that networks of chemical reactions emerged first, creating energy-harvesting systems that later incorporated genetic molecules. These approaches focus on understanding how catalysis in chemical systems might have provided the precursor molecules necessary for self-replication. Other models suggest that life might have begun in compartmentalized environments like lipid vesicles, which could concentrate reactants and protect developing biological systems from dilution. Experimental approaches to studying abiogenesis combine laboratory simulations with astronomical observations. Laboratory experiments attempt to recreate the conditions of early Earth or other potentially habitable environments to observe how organic chemistry might progress toward biological complexity. These experiments have demonstrated that many of the building blocks of life can form spontaneously under a variety of conditions relevant to astronomy, including interstellar radiation, impacts, and hydrothermal activity. Mathematical modeling plays an increasingly important role in abiogenesis research, particularly when examining questions of probability. For example, one study modeled the entire universe to estimate the likelihood of complex RNA molecules forming through random processes. Such models incorporate our growing knowledge of how many potentially habitable worlds might exist throughout the cosmos and how various factors might influence the emergence of life on those worlds. Despite significant progress in understanding the potential pathways from chemistry to biology, numerous challenges and debates persist in the field of abiogenesis research. One fundamental challenge is the difficulty of defining precisely what constitutes life, a seemingly simple question that becomes increasingly complex at the boundary between complex chemistry and simple biology. This definitional ambiguity complicates efforts to identify when abiogenesis has actually occurred, both in laboratory settings and in potential observations of other worlds. The question of whether life is likely common or rare in the universe remains vigorously debated among scientists. Some researchers argue that given the apparent ease with which life emerged on Earth and the ubiquity of life's building blocks throughout the cosmos, abiogenesis may be a relatively common occurrence wherever suitable conditions exist. Others contend that the emergence of life might require such a specific sequence of events that it could be exceedingly rare, perhaps even unique to Earth, despite the vastness of the universe. One particular debate centers on whether our observation of life's early emergence on Earth provides evidence that abiogenesis is generally easy or likely. Bayesian analyses of this question have shown that this single data point provides surprisingly little constraint on the probability of abiogenesis on other Earth-like planets. The anthropic selection effect, the fact that we necessarily find ourselves on a planet where life emerged, significantly complicates statistical inferences from Earth's experience to the broader universe. Another challenge involves distinguishing genuine biosignatures from abiotic processes that might mimic them. As we search for evidence of life beyond Earth, researchers must develop robust criteria for determining whether observed phenomena result from biological or non-biological processes. This challenge becomes particularly acute when considering potential forms of life that might differ substantially from Earth life in their fundamental chemistry or organization. The study of abiogenesis from an astronomical perspective stands at a pivotal moment, with new observational capabilities, experimental techniques, and theoretical frameworks converging to address one of science's most profound questions. Future research will likely focus on more sophisticated models of prebiotic chemistry under various planetary conditions, including environments quite different from early Earth. These models will help scientists identify the most promising locations to search for evidence of life beyond our planet. Advances in astronomical instrumentation promise to revolutionize our understanding of potentially habitable environments throughout the galaxy. The ability to characterize the atmospheres of Earth-sized exoplanets around other stars will allow researchers to search for potential biosignatures that might indicate the presence of life. These observations will provide crucial data for testing hypotheses about how common or rare abiogenesis might be in the universe. The interdisciplinary nature of abiogenesis research will continue to be essential, with astronomy, biology, chemistry, geology, and other fields contributing important perspectives. This collaborative approach recognizes that understanding life's origins requires integrating knowledge across traditional disciplinary boundaries. Future breakthroughs will likely emerge from these interdisciplinary interactions, as researchers bring diverse tools and perspectives to bear on this complex question. As humanity extends its presence into the solar system, new opportunities will arise for directly studying environments that might inform our understanding of abiogenesis. Missions to Mars, Europa, Enceladus, and other potentially habitable bodies may discover evidence of past or present life, or at least provide valuable insights into the conditions under which life might emerge. These exploration efforts connect the theoretical study of life's origins with the practical search for life beyond Earth. Ultimately, the astronomical study of abiogenesis speaks to one of humanity's most enduring questions. Are we alone in the universe? By understanding how life began on Earth and whether similar processes might operate elsewhere, we gain insight into our own origins and our place in the cosmos. While definitive answers remain elusive, the ongoing scientific exploration of this question continues to deepen our understanding of the remarkable transition from cosmic chemistry to biology, a transition that may link us to a broader community of life throughout the universe.